Hello, everyone. Hello. It's a pleasure for me to introduce, you all know her, Antonia Varela, Toñi. Toñi made her PhD here at the IAC and the Institute of Astrophysics of Paris about extragalactic bulges. But for several reasons, she's spent almost 30 years, or around 30 years, working also on site testing of the observatories. She has more than 100 publications, scientific, but also more than 500 publications about outreach. She's been very active in teaching and outreaching. And since January this year, she's director of the Starlight Foundation. So today she's going to talk us about the Starlight Foundation and the activities. And thank you very much, Toñi.
The Canary Islands. Oh, sorry for my hoarseness. I can't speak low, but it's better, not like that. Okay, the Canary Islands are outstanding site for astronomy. The four expeditions were performed by Piazzi Smith or Smythe in 1856. Then the Teide Observatory is for that. It's turned into the first high mountain astronomical observatory in the world. We have a meteorological record for more than 100 years, astronomical observation for more than 50 years, and a 30 years sky law managed by the OTPC, and also continuous site testing covering whole atmosphere for 30 years with performed by our sky team. Which I think, okay. Then we have excellent sky conditions thanks to factors, natural factors such as geographical and climatological factors. Then thanks to the atmospheric layer inversion, the cool oceanic stream, the trade wind, the orography, and we have dark skies. And dark skies also thanks to well enforced law covering light, atmospheric, radioelectric pollution, but also aircraft. Then resulting dark sky, darker with time, we hope so, and no aircraft over the observatory. There is also, as you know, the Canary Islands or protected areas for light pollution, mainly La Palma, sky, and also this side of the Tenerife Islands facing to La Palma. The Sky Protection Office was set up at the IC in January 1992 in order to take advice of this law to protect the astronomical quality of the observatories in the Canary Islands. And they also produce these technical reports for lighting projects and radioelectric stations, as well as issuing lighting certificates. Then there is a Spanish law. This is the law 34/2007 of the air quality and atmosphere protection that describes the light pollution, such as the brightness or glow of light in the night sky produced by reflection and scattering of the artificial light in gases and air particles by the use of inadequate lighting or by shielding. This is insufficient. We have to include now the spectral pollution also, no? But, however, this law has inspired many other law, regulations, decrees, and sectoral policies in different autonomous communities that are incorporating the dark protection to protect the atmospheric environment in many territories. This is, let me show you, this recent new World Atlas of Light Pollution performed by Fabio Falchi et al., presented at La Palma 2 years ago. According with this map, you can see that almost the 90 in United States and 80% of the population of the planet no longer can observe the Milky Way. And that's due to the increase of the last decades of the light pollution, which is the most invasive pollution in the world at this moment. Then, despite all of this sky law being applied in different countries, or in Hawaii or Chile, we feel that we have to convince and to raise awareness, the society, of the importance to protect that sky. And then, this is the fair action, the Starlight Show, or initiative, was born in 2003 as with this first idea document to build a platform of international action in defense of sky quality, to promote and spread the culture of appreciation of the light of the universe, to draw attention international to the need to limit the impact of the light pollution, to generate proposals for protection from artificial lighting, undertake the actions in defense of sky quality, identify local and national regulations initiative, and the most important at the end is to promote the International Declaration on Sky Quality as both a material and intangible human heritage. In 2005, this declaration is strengthened by the approval of the initiative on the IEC Governing Board, and the IEC will convene an international conference. Then the Biosphere Reserve of La Palma was joined to promote this conference, and finally take form of an international Starlight Conference in 2007. At the first was called Light of the Stars, a World Heritage, and finally it's a Starlight World Heritage. Okay, then this action promoted by the IEC, we invited many institutions, international institutions such as the United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization, the UNESCO, the World Tourist Organization, the International Astronomical Union, and many institutions such as Convention on Biological Diversity, Convention on Ramsar of Wetlands, and many other institutions, European Commission, Cabildo de La Palma, Reserva Biosfera, and even the Spanish Olympic Committee, signed a declaration, is a decalogue of 10 intentions. Let me show you, this is the picture, sorry, of the act. Starlight was awarded the Cesar Manrique Prize to Defense to the Dark Skies 10 years ago. And let me please read the first article of the Starlight Declaration. Say that an unpolluted night sky that allows the enjoyment and contemplation of the firmament should be considered an inalienable right equivalent to all other sociocultural and environmental rights. Hence, a progressive degradation of the night sky must be regarded as a fundamental loss. The other main issues of the Starlight Declaration are related with the defense of the quality of the night sky, the right to observe the stars, the heritage of the starlight, the protection of the astronomical observatory sites, the benefits of public outreach in astronomy, the starlight tourism, and the cultural and scientific aspects of visual astronomy. Then one of the articles make attention on the necessary to protect and promote the tangible and intangible natural heritage associated with the contemplation of the night sky. also to recover the starry sky as a landscape, lost. And then the Starlight proposal in defense of the landscape has been adopted by the European Landscape Convention, and then many national parks and biosphere reserve are incorporating this new dimension in the conservation of public enjoyment of its value. Also the science and the protection to the windows to the universe. In the Article 8, the Starlight Initiative develops, in cooperation with UNESCO and International Council of Monuments and Sites, an initiative in order to include windows to the universe in the World Heritage List. Then, there is the first series of sites named by World Heritage or Canarian observatories, the Chile observatories and Hawaii, followed by another series of countries as Baja California, Arizona, Namibia, and other sites of North Africa, Argentina, Antarctic, etc. This is the proposed working groups for the IU to take that. This is only a proposal, but it's important to emphasize that Starlight and World Heritage is one of the working groups for this International Astronomical Union, and then we hope to boost this work here. Other important thing in Starlight is the wildlife and the stars. As you know, many species has nighttime life. This is the firefly, for example, that she makes with the male with a light, and she becomes luminescent when it wants to mate with the male. And then the light pollution is a problem for these insects, but for many species, wildlife, oceanic, turtles and birds, petrels, shearwaters, etc. Then we know that the light pollution, there are more and more publications showing that this light pollution can alter predation and prey relationships, but also the navigation, the reproduction, the physiology, mortality, etc. of many species in the planet. And also the electric power impact on avifauna. We know it's very dangerous. Also the circadian rhythm of hormones and biological factors. The circadian or the circan is approximately it means day, no? Then we have biological cycles that has 20 hours cycles. For example, the production of melatonin is conditioned by the dark, and the cortisol is produced during the day. Also, the muscular strength and the temperature have cycles which are 24 hours. And then the World Health Organization and the American Medical Association take advice of the importance of the chronodisruptions produced by all these changes in light pollution. Then there are many changes in the melatonin, cortisol, immunosuppressants, temperature, muscular strength, etc. And many diseases such as insomnia, obesity, low sex drive. I don't know if it's a disease, but it's a problem. And high cholesterol, diabetes, cardiovascular, or even cancer. Other aspect is the Article 7 related with the intelligent lighting and fostering innovation, recover the stars and mitigate the climate change. There are many criteria. The main one, or the orientation of the lamps and the bulbs, the intensity, measuring by luxes, which is a unit of lumens per square meter, and the spectral range. It's quite important, the spectral range, because the blue lamps scatter more light than the warm ones. This is an example of the lamps that we propose in many sites, Starlight sites. This is an example in Arcos de los Olmos at Guadalajara. Changed completely the aspect of the white houses. Mainly in Andalusia was very difficult to convince the importance to change the lamps, and using this one that decreased the ocular stress also. And this is another example of two lamps. This is the spherical, which are completely polluted, and this one which are shielding with PC amber LED. This is another example of Puente de la Reina in Pamplona with a very nice illumination. Then we have also published this brochure in collaboration with UNESCO and Iguccini. This is an alternative way of lighting of the UNESCO sites, and in Starlight we have executed more than 50 lighting projects following the Starlight criteria, which are the ODPC and the Spanish Lighting Commission Red Española de Contaminación Lumínica criteria. And also, we have established the basis for lighting historical bridges and buildings. It's quite important also. Then the final aim of the Starlight initiative is to strengthen the importance of clear sky for humankind, emphasizing and introducing the value of this heritage for science, education, technology, culture, development, nature, conservation, tourism, and obviously as a quality factor of life. And the Starlight Foundation is a non-profit institution, is the body in charge of the operational management of this Starlight initiative, providing all human resources to apply these main goals. It's formed by the IEC in 45% of the capital and 55% of Corporación 5, which is an enterprise of business, which is private capital. Then the Starlight Foundation is a private institution, non-profit, to take advantage of that. This is the patronage, or the patrons, or the president is José Carlos Francisco, which is the president of the Empresarios Business of Santa Cruz de Tenerife, Confederation of Businessmen of Santa Cruz de Tenerife. The vice president is Francisco Sánchez, our ex-director, vice director, and founder of the IEC. The IEC director, Rafa Rebolo, and former GTC director, which is Pedro Alvarez. And here I'm Ana and Marta. I would like to mention, I don't know, I have the name of Marta and Ana, which are the two people, the staff which work with us at the Starlight Foundation. Then Starlight as a whole is considered by UNESCO to be an associated action that has support to the International Astronomical Union and the World Tourist Organization. And the main goals are the protection of night sky, the dissemination of the astronomy, star tourism, and smart lighting. Then the immediate benefits are scientific, for the observatory, for example, or any site, the energy saving and traffic safety, also the environmental improvement, and finally also the biodiversity, the health, social awareness, and the economic. That's quite important, and this is one of our strengths. We have celebrated 2 years ago the 10th anniversary of the Starlight Declaration at La Palma with a conference with more than 100 researchers. This is an interdisciplinary matter, and there were 4 sessions related with the different fields of the Starlight Declaration: the cultural values of Starlight, the preserving the biodiversity and human well-being, new technologies in astronomy, and starry sky as a driver for sustainable development. The most important was not only the conference, but the complementary activities, many exhibitions, cinema seasons on the universe, a blackout, presentations of G-astronomy activities, etc. And then it was a party of the Society of La Palma during 1 week. And also, since 2007, on 20th April, we celebrate the anniversary of the Starlight Declaration. And then we propose that the world at night, we can light up the night by switching off the stars. This is another example of an Starlight exhibition of different sites of reserve and tourist destinations, Starlight on Odali, and this is an example of the Ray House. Then, the main goal of the Starlight is also to protect the dark sky, but also the dissemination of the astronomy. Then, for Starlight, the tourists, the science can be a working methodology in tourism, because the tourists can be an instrument to mitigate the climate change for sustainability and for development. And then the science as a tourist product, why not the astronomy? And then we have chosen the astronomy because the astronomy is the transversal element to the whole humanity, cultures, and countries, and the astronomy is the starting point of science. And the tourists in the Starlight follow all recommendations and voluntary standards of the United Nations World Tourist Organization. Then we have created a certification system that seeks to guarantee the capacity to enjoy the view of the stars. And then this Starlight certification is, thank you, makes possible for the first time to bring science and tourists together. Then there are two main concepts, two main modalities, which are the Starlight Reserve and the Starlight Tourist Destination. The Starlight Reserve, or a protected natural area, where a commitment to protect the quality of the night sky and access to starlight is established. And then this criteria was established in the Astronomy and Heritage of Humanity Conference in Paris, and throughout 2008, the criteria, the bases were established in London and Quebec. And there are a second modality, which is Starlight Tourist Destinations, which are sites with very, very nice, excellent sky conditions, not so strength that the reserve Starlight, but visitable sites. The most important was established the criteria in the World Tourist Organization Center in Madrid by UNESCO MAP and the IEC. The most important, before being granted with Starlight certification, is the Covenant of Mayors. All mayors must sign the Starlight Declaration. It's the commitment with the foundation, no? To make, to establish some initiative to protect the dark sky and to disseminate the astronomy. The IEC supports the Starlight initiative by collaborating with the Starlight Foundation, defining the astronomical requirements, methods, and measurements and analysis procedure. In this sense, here the Sky team, Julio, Cassian, and me, we work on site selection and site characterization of the Canarian observatories, and we determine the key parameters. These are the key parameters for site selection, site characterization, but also for telescope design and for feasibility studies for adaptive optics. However, for a certification, a Starlight, we have chosen only 4 parameters. There are 3 natural parameters, which are the large number of clear nights, the excellent seeing, and the air transparency, but there is another very important, which is anthropogenic, or anthropic, which is the light pollution. And then we have also the commitment to disseminate the knowledge related to the defense of clear night. Then the issues for the astronomical audit, or the geographical conditions, climatological, but also the destinations, the territories must provide these parameters, these 4 parameters. Then these audits can take long time, no? Maybe 1 year or a few years. This is a summary of parameters they have to measure and to provide. This is the description, this is the threshold. You can see for a reserve, the conditions are more estrictas, ¿cómo se dice? Exigente. Bueno, se entiende. That for the Starlight destination, and these are different instrumentation we propose for measuring these parameters. For example, the sky brightness can measure by using a sky quality meter, ASMO, which are all sky cameras, but also the satellites, new photometers developed by Star for All, color SQM, and new proposal. We are open to all new instrumentation for measuring the sky brightness. For example, this is a summary of the parameters and the threshold for Starlight Reserve, or similar to the conditions at La Palma Observatory. Then we clear night, about 60%. The sky brightness, about 20.4 magnitude, pardon. The seeing better than 1 arcsecond, and this is the transparency or the atmospheric extinction, lower than 0.15 arcsecond. Then this is a way, it's quite important, the temporal and the spatial sampling in the territory. Here, for example, this is an example for Sierra Morena with different sky quality meter or photometer installed. These are the measurements, and with that, we can establish a zoning of the territory. The zoning is quite important because depending on these parameters, mainly the sky brightness, we can establish many areas different in the Starlight Reserve. The core or exclusion zone is where the natural lighting conditions are kept intact. The buffer or protection zone near the core area and serves to cushion the adverse effects, and the general zone, a nearby area outside the reserve. And then also, for example, here at Corralejo, Puerto del Rosario, Morrojable, these are excluded area. This is almost identical to the zoning of the Biosphere Reserve at Fuerteventura. Then the step for the Starlight certification process, the condition sine qua non is the sky quality. For a reserve, this is the only audit that we perform, the sky quality, no? And this certification is revisited after 2 years and renewal after 4 years. And also we can provide seasonal certification, it's able to, no? And finally, if there is a destination, a tourist destination, there is a tourist evaluation taking into account all these parameters established by the World Tourist Organization. There are more than 300 parameters we have to audit to grant a Starlight certification. Okay, there are other modalities that are working very well at this moment, which are the rural houses and hotels. For example, this is the first one in Canada, Nova Scotia, with a recognition in Forbes in 2016. It's worth a visit no matter what the season, which are establishments that offer a noteworthy and accredited quality and formal support to the Starlight Declaration. They provide telescopes, binoculars, planisphere, etc., for enjoy of the stars, and they provide information about astronomical trails, wilderness, adventures, activities, etc. And this is another example in progress in the Atlas in Casbah Tamadot, which is Richard Branson, is the owner of BG. This is another alternative for a future Starlight. This is the last accreditation of a rural hotel yesterday evening. It's at Galicia in Rías Baixas. It's a very nice site. And these are other alternatives for accommodation like this one. No? These are different alternatives to enjoy the stars. Also, the Starlight Initiative was launched in 2010, the Star Park campaign in collaboration with the Astronomers Without Borders, in order to promote worldwide and to identify the system of space, natural space in every town and cities, where the minimum conditions for the enjoyment of the night sky. This is an example of stellar parks, stellariums, and this is other stellar viewpoints and nature and astronomy classrooms in many cities with street signs, planispheres. This is in Islas Atlánticas in Galicia, La Palma, Los Pedroches in Córdoba, etc. This is another example. An abandoned church has been turned into a magnificent space that combines art, architecture, and astronomy. This is another modality, is Starlight Monument. It's another modality we have created recently. We are in process to give this certification. It's a wonderful site. And there are other, this is a new modality, village, Starlight Village, a small town, that the wilderness, stellar parks and stellariums. Also we have created for Chile tourist observatories, Starlight tourist observatories, rural hotel and houses, hostel, inns, lodgings, camp, etc. And other modalities such as walking trails, excursions. Now, maybe next week, we'll give the first sportive activities at the Trail Reventón El Paso at La Palma, which is a modality with a commitment with the dark sky. It's very nice trail. And restaurants. This is the list of Starlight certifications. Sorry, this is this just now. 25 tourist destinations, 13 reserve, 50, no, for 50, only 50, 50 lodgings, and also 3 Starlight camps, etc. And this is the Starlight training. I'll talk about the training just now. And the adhesions to the Starlight Declaration, at this moment, we have 3,380 adhesions to the Starlight Declaration. Last one was the Asamblea de Madrid. This is they subscribe a commitment with the Dark Sky, with the Starlight Declaration. We're very happy because it's a declaration of the intention to do better the things, no? And to change maybe the street lighting in Madrid, we hope so. This is another map, sorry. This is an example of the different Starlight destinations and reserves in Spain. You can see that many of darkest sites are Starlight. You can see here in Ourense, Rioja, Montsec in Catalonia, or Cuenca, etc., etc. In Canary Islands, La Palma, the Teide Mountain is also a Starlight Reserve, Fuerteventura, and recently Gran Canaria. Menorca is also another new destination and reserve Starlight. And the certification in progress, or the desert of Tatacoa in Colombia, Coquimbo in Chile. At this moment there are 3 Starlight destinations in Chile, in Antofagasta, a new reserve in Fray Jorge National Park. We are also working at Portugal and Atlas, Morocco, maybe Cusco and Guatemala. And these are the progress, the Starlight certifications in progress in Spain. There are many village or national parks that want to be part of this network in Spain. And then another important thing is that this for Starlight is quite important to interpret the sky, but always together with the resources, the natural resources of the site. I mean, the biodiversity, the cultural heritage, geology, or the scientific installations, the ethnography, gastronomy, traditions, etc. Then that means that taking into account these natural conditions and then accommodation, trails, stellar viewpoints, and the interest of visitors, we need professionals accredited, dedicated for the guidance and assistance to groups of people to make the visits. These are the Starlight guides and monitors. And then for us, the training, the education, and the awareness is quite important. We need people experts for the audits. Then these are the auditors, the Starlight auditors. We organize courses for Starlight auditors. For astrojuries, the guides and the Starlight monitors, the difference is the guides are courses of 120 hours, and these are the only people that can make the visit at the observatories, at the Canarian observatories. And the Starlight monitors is the personnel accredited to make these activities of the star juries in any site, elsewhere. Also, the training of teachers and popularizers in legislation, also legal, we give legal assessment. We are going to define a new modality of Starlight technical. The first one will be at Tenerife next month, no, in April. There will be the first course in lighting projects. And also to involve and commitment the social agents, school pupils and students, and communications, media and journalists, and astrophotographers. Then it's quite important, the tracking and development. Then we have to follow with measuring the sky quality parameters, especially light pollution control, open to new technologies, and to make lighting projects, and promoting agreements with scientific institutions and universities, such as the International Dark Sky Association, or the Red Española Contaminación Lumínica, Star for All, Night Sky Interreg, etc., in order to make actions to protect the dark sky. And this is the last one. This was an agreement between Starlight and Star for All just yesterday. This is nota de prensa. This is an agreement to install test photometers in different Starlight and reserve destinations in collaboration with Star for All. And next Starlight courses will be the next week at La Palma. This is an Starlight multiple courses. Light technicians at Tenerife, and the next one in Menorca and Avila, and other ones which are in process, or Starlight guys in Tenerife and in these sites. And finally, the tourists of a star experience and good practices. The tourists of a star, or the astro tourist, defines as an activity or service offered to the visitors that allow to enjoy the sky with different tools. Telescope, binoculars, or naked. It's quite joined to the eco-tourist, rural and active tourists. The sky is a 24 hours and 1 year resource, and then with these activities we can reach deseasonalize the territory and favor the tourists overnight stays. Then it's an opportunity against the unpopulation. The biosphere reserve of site where the human, the man, and the nature cohabit, coexist. Then many of the small villages in Spain has been unpopulated, and then this is one alternative, one tool to avoid this, to fight against this unpopulation. Then a large number of potential visitors value this natural, scientific, and cultural resource. Some of the activities are the astronomical footpaths, for example, at La Palma, at Nova Scotia, Canada. Also the observatories, the program observatories and planetarium, or some examples for the outreach of the astronomy. Also the navigations and night roads by boat, as is in Islas Atlánticas or Tusquets Islands, or main in Gran Canaria. There are many activities on Menorca related with the navigation. The navigation is always very linked to the astronomy. The archaeoastronomy, Juan Antonio Belmonte is the expert on this matter, but we know that the archaeology is linked to the astronomy, and then it's a very potential resource for astrotourists, the archaeology. And also this journey of G-astronomy, which are some activities in the hotel, inns, etc. And then there is a presentation in astronomy and a menu, for example, like this one, to talk about Venus, cuajada de foie con dados de papaya y polvo cósmico de millo. And then in order to explain astronomy with local products, cheeses, wines, etc., etc. Also the merchandising, jewelry, t-shirts, etc. We have also producing now some prenda for merchandising. Also the astrophotography, the third marathon astrophotography will be organized by the Starlight Foundation in April and will be held in June this year. And let me show you this trail.
Tourism in the 21st century looks to the stars.
Hay mucha gente que busca un tipo de turismo más especial, que no es simplemente visitar los sitios, sino también experimentarlos y llevarse una sensación un poquito más profunda.
Spain is one of the best destinations in the world to enjoy astronomy and a trend on the rise: astrotourism.
I've never seen the detail on the moon and Saturn and some of the stars.
En este entorno una persona puede ver unas 2000 estrellas.
This intelligent tourism offers unique experiences, which travelers from all over the world go to the southwest of Europe to discover.
Poner binocular y que la gente pueda disfrutar durante una noche sobre las cosas que se ven a ojo desnudo es algo que el que lo pueda vivir lo recordará durante el resto de su vida.
This is an example of the emotion, no? The most important is the sensation that the people take home. Last year we have also signed an agreement with Airbnb in order to seek the best sites for astronomy. They have provided more than 3,000 houses has a telescope. Then there is an increasing interest in astronomy in many even Airbnb houses. From this study, this is the economic impact of astrotourism and starlight sites. There is an annual growth of 200 up to 400%. Monsec, there are more than 32 visitors in a small site with less than 1,000 people. That is quite important, no? This inversion in the territory. Islas Atlánticas in Galicia, they receive more than 10,000 visitors for starlight activities, and Tenerife 200 visitors. La Palma, there are more than 70 business or registered projects with some 29 millions of euros per year. And from Airbnb study in starlight sites, there is an increase of about 327 in Chile, and Yarmouth in Canada about 2021. Then I say always that to be leader in astrotourism is necessary to innovate, diversify and sophisticate the offer, personalizing in each destination and promoting development articulately. Other things in press, in media, that equal is an important, equal is an green, ecological, political, that's what? Party. Ay, prefiero no tocarlo porque lo destrozo. Okay. And then they propose 7 steps to develop a new tourist model in Spain. And they propose, okay, thank you. It's important for us that the ecologists to have the support of the ecologists. I mean, this is a very important green ecological political party in Europe, and they propose 7 initiatives for a new model of tourism, sustainable tourism, and one of them, the 4th, is to certificate starlight reserves. Also, we are in many magazine cover, like in the País or in Repsol destinations, or for example, in New York Times 2 years ago. Esto es grave ya. Ya termino. I'm finishing. Just finishing. Voy bien de hora. Estoy ya terminando. It's only an example. For us, it's quite important the media and to be skip. Yes. I have a problem with the laptop. Sí. Ponlo en el modo aquí. Perdón, aquí. Atiende. Aquí. Sorry. Okay, yeah, I finish it. Okay. With the cooperation with Airbnb, we have produced more than, last year we have produced more than 150 publications in media. Among the most important, you can see Bazaar or National Geographic or La República, Cubo, etc. One of them even in Russian, in National Geographic. That's quite important for us. Also in Qatar Airways, 2 months. In Transavia, which is another important airways company also. We have been in the magazine 2 months also. And finally, one of the most important points is the Starlight Foundation has been chosen to lead the scientific tourists in the working group of the affiliate members programs, which are more than 300 countries or different in the world. We have not done nothing at this moment, but I hope to strengthen these collaborations with the World Tourist Organization in order to make actions to do that. Finally, let me finish with the strength of the Starlight Initiative against other sky certifications is that it's endorsed by international organizations, the Covenant of Mayors, foster law, decrees and regulations for protection in the dark sky, smart lighting execution on plans. The certification spreads to other astronomical parameters, the genetical, natural parameters, not only the dark sky on the light pollution, re-evaluation and protection of landscape, cultural heritage, historical and scientific, geology, biodiversity, the social awareness and dissemination of the astronomy, the training in many, many fields, starlight monitors, auditors, technicians, etc., the economic development as a driver of sustainable tourism, And finally, that is revisited after 2 years and renewed every 4. And the name, the strategy for this year is the internationalization of the Starlight certification, continue to strengthen certification and support and advice in the territory with monitoring sky quality data, open data, developing products in astroturning and infrastructure, but not new infrastructure. Is to take profit of the old abandoned infrastructures, such as churches, lighthouses, etc. Development of 5 sensors of gourmet skies, create repositories of star tourist experience, and also a creation of working groups in each territory in 3 parts: education, outreach, training, and awareness, other block in intelligent lighting and innovation, and finally the business, institutions, stakeholders, etc. The 4th is the training, education, awareness. For me, for the Starlight Foundation, is fundamental at this point. We are boost degrees of master in astrophysics at the university also, and updating course. Finally, the communication and marketing, and the sponsorship. As we are seeking for a sponsor, then if you want to participate, I will be happy. But also we want to invest in training, education, and awareness projects. We produce yearly meetings. The first one was last year. Now, the next one will be in November 2019. We have, at this moment, 10 candidate sites, not 8, to venue, for venue. And finally, also we are sponsoring this conference. There will be the New Zealand Starlight Conference that will be held in October. You are invited to participate. Will be an interdisciplinary matter conference, similar to the Starlight Conference. No? And I finish with this video, which is an example of a picture of different Starlight reserve and destinations, if it doesn't work. And let me insert that again. It's only an example to show you the different Starlight destinations are reserved that we have all over the world. International, we have only Chile at this moment, Chile, Nova Scotia, Canada, and New Zealand. And the Atlas, yesterday evening, I have received a confirmation of the director of the Tubcal National Park and Atlas that they are going to adhere to the Starlight Declaration. I'm very happy because it's a very large territory to promote the better development of dark protection and dark sky. Sorry. Format automatically on full screen. And let's go. I hope so. That's it's a video prepared by Gaby Perez, which is an artist. Continuously, you can see. there are Menorca and Alto Turia are missing. And then that's all. Thanks for your attention, and this is the webpage if you need more information. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much for the nice talk. And apologies for the people on streaming because the microphone was off. It's my fault. Sorry. Questions for Tony?
Hi, Tony. So you said you want to promote outreach activities. So do you also finance or have fellowships for this initiative?
For this initiative, we promote.
If you said you wanted you try to promote outreach and so so do you have fellowships or finance for people that want to do outreach or so?
This is my objective. It's the first time that we can sponsor some activity. I have started in January, and now at this moment I have sponsored the 2 first activities. Then I hope that the change. We need more money because we receive the money for these certifications, and then we use this money to develop other projects. But at this moment, this is the first time that we have some money to invest on new outreach projects. And there are a few activities in progress, and we hope so, even to give grants or fellowship, not only for outreach, but also for research. Then our idea, now we are collaborating, but free, without, with many trabajos in the master and in the grado for many students at different universities in Spain. There is a new experience, but only is altruist, I mean. But my idea is in the future to have some money. Then I have a list of different banks, Fundación Caixa, BBV, and many, even Corte Inglés, I think, and enterprise to obtain money to invest in these projects.
More questions? I do have a question because you mentioned a private company, something 5.
Who?
A private company you mentioned. It was called something in Spanish 5, el número 5.
Yes.
But that was for what? Because you said they fund 55%.
This is another, yes, it's a consultancy enterprise. Maybe there are fiscal advantage in investing in some institution like this one. However, the first inversion was only, I think, 11,000 euros. Then it's not so many money for a foundation like this one. Then we have produced all that with 11,000 euros. Then I think it's a very huge effort, but we have no money. These are the patrons I want to push to find some money because they are enterprise and business. No? Then I hope they have the contact to obtain more money to develop new projects.
Tony, you showed a picture of somewhere. It looked like a church that you could see through the roof. Where was that?
The church is in maybe New Te Capo, in New Zealand.
Ah.
In the other. Where? In the church, the monument.
It's a church.
It's in Valencia. Sí, Becerril de Campos. In
okay.
Valencia. It's an abandoned church.
Yeah.
It's a wonderful project.
It looks amazing. Yeah.
Yes.
It's not open.
It's painting.
I didn't realize. I thought it was real.
It's painting now.
So there's like a.
It was open. It was open, and now it's painted
Okay.
with this sky. We are developing also an special. I want to give an special, for example, grant or nomination to this village, this city, or this. That make something like this one. This is very, very special. There are other projects related with the cultural. For example, Camino de Santiago is one of our future projects, but for 2021. And this is another special cultural, of international cultural interest. And we have also Vía Verde, Franco Navarra, which is another trail, a nighttime trail, very nice. And we hope to use many lighthouses or churches or like that to do astronomy classes and rooms. Very nice.
Is there any hope that in the long term in the Canary Islands a significant part of the tourism is related rather than beaches and sun and nightlife related to astronomy? I mean, do you have a kind of goal to meet? You wanted like 10% of the tourists come here to see the skies. Is there any forecast on what might be happening? Could you comment on that?
Yes. At this moment, we are ordering many all territories to provide this data with this information. I'm collating not all this information. At this moment, I know most of people that came from the Canary Islands or Balears, such as Menorca, is looking for beaches and sun. However, that is changing, and many people is coming also for active tourists, rural activities and co-tourists, and among them the astro-tourists. And then almost 20% of people, or 30 of visitors at La Palma, at Tenerife, is looking for the stars.
So now 20% of the tourism?
Yes, because we are addressing people from other activities to astro-tourists. But there are an increase of 90% of visitors at La Palma, and 90% of increases of potential visitors for astro-tourism. And 90% of increase of people.
Then can I say something? In a given moment, maybe I don't see it properly, but I think you mentioned like 200,000 people visit or had some activities related to astronomy in Tenerife.
Yes.
But they left very little money, really, a few million euros compared to that thing.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
this is a problem. There are secondary problems with that. No, there are many people, and the problems with the environment protection, and then the astro-tourism must be more conservative. However, many of these people, there are only 7. I think there are a few restaurants there, and there are a few enterprise, like one Elegant Excursions, that is earning more than 3 or 4 millions of euros per year with these activities. Then I think at this moment there are only a few enterprise earning money, many money, with the astro-tourist activity. Volcano also, of the Cabildo, many enterprise that have looked for this opportunity. And then I would like to spread these activities, forming people, businessmen, and owners of rural houses to take profit of these resources. No? But at this moment, yes, there are only a few enterprise earning money with that.
Okay, very quick.
No, quick.
Because we need to stop. No, we need to stop because there's scientific coffee, so we can continue the discussion in the cafeteria. Thank you very much, Toñi.
Thank you.